Okay, amazing. So we're gonna get started. We're gonna do a nice relaxation focus today. We've got some fun upper body opening. We're gonna have our frozen spoons in the freezer for the end of class. And as always, to begin, let's go ahead and do a few pumps of our favorite serum. We're gonna begin by clearing the terminus. We're gonna do a little facial massage, help our body set into a nice parasympathetic nervous state, so we'll be relaxing. We're gonna start by just simply, to clear the terminus, we're working on our neck from this line in towards the medial border of our collarbone. So we're just applying, you can do a little oil all over, and then just gently pulling down, and at the end coming in, so it's like an L and a reverse L. Just pulling down and in. And we're going to do about 50 of these strokes. If you love counting, totally go ahead and go for that. Otherwise, we'll just do about 5 to 8 breaths. And as we continue this stroke, it's a nice light pressure. We're just engaging the skin and the tissue right underneath that little superficial, and encouraging that lymphatic fluid to move through this area. This is where all of the lymph fluid gets processed through in the end. So a huge portion of our blood is cleared out and cleaned right through here each day. And just by facilitating it this way, we can almost double the amount of fluid that can get cleaned and cleared, which means that's essentially twice as much immune fighting or immune boosting, like virus fighting cells can get all through our body, inflammation fighting, all that good stuff. Let's do 2 more nice breaths just like this. Make sure you're in a nice, comfortable, seated position. If you feel like, I always notice myself pulling forward, kind of rock yourself on your hips a little bit until you can find a nice neutral position. And just gently drawing the belly button in towards the spine. Making sure that we're using our core, our abdominals, and our low back, our paraspinals to help us be erect so we're not hunching or anything. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take the rest of the serum from my palms and I'm just going to tap it over my face. So just nice little tap, tap. And now to begin, I'm going to take my pointer finger like a hook and my thumbs, and I'm just going to come right under, pressing my thumbs under my chin, and the hook of my pointer finger is on my chin on the top side, and we're just gently pulling away. If it feels like grippy or like your fingers aren't giving you a nice glide, you can go ahead and tap a little bit more serum on that jawline. When we get back towards our ears, we're going to use that hook of that pointer finger, that little nub there, and give ourselves a nice little hook right around the line of the jaw. And let's do about 5 of these, so starting back in the center line of the chin, curving the fingers behind the hook of that jawbone, and then let's meet back in the center. Awesome. This feels so great. I was in the ocean water today, and I was just so grateful to get some of that clearing and a lot of those minerals that are in the ocean water that we don't get the rest of the time. And I was so excited to get to do some clearing because I know I got a bunch of healthy vitamin D and all kinds of good stuff in my skin. So I was like, okay, I'm going to move that all around. So we're going to take our hands in our little goalposts, and we're going to pretty much stick the seam of our hands up against the face as if we were shouting. And just along this like nasio, or the, I can't remember what it's called right now, but basically the fold of your cheek, back towards the ears, and we're going to do 5 of those, like we're giving ourselves a nice little facelift. Give yourself, your ears, like a little love pinch at the end. I don't know, I feel like it's like the nasolabial fold, but it just seems so weird, but I'm pretty sure that's probably right. But as you know from watching all my stuff, I'm obsessed with trying to get this less puffy on me. So let's go ahead. Let's take our peace fingers. I'm going to cross them over so my middle finger is just behind supporting my pointer finger. Press just right on either side of your nostrils, and we're just pressing in and up. So as if you're kind of scooping up. Yep, perfect. And we're going to take a nice deep inhale. This is called welcoming fragrance. It's a large intestine point. And I'm going to do 2 more deep breaths just like that. This is great for clearing sinuses. And 1 more deep breath in. Exhale. Let the fingers come to relax. And now I'm going to do fingertips chasing fingertips right along the third eye. So I'm basically rubbing from the bridge of the nose up towards my hairline. And I'm just pressing in, feeling some of that fascia, superficial tissue kind of melting away under the warmth of my fingertips and a little bit of that friction. This is going to really help us if you get those little worry lines or from furrowing your eyebrows, which I totally do. And now let's take our thumbs. We're going to find that little divot. This is a drilling bamboo point. So where the bridge of your nose meets the bridge of your eyebrow, and just feel around in the bone that creates the eye socket there until you find a little dip on either side. And we're just going to apply a little upward pressure. Nothing too crazy to where you feel like some crazy radiating pain, but just enough to where you can feel an active sensation. I can feel this kind of radiating around in the back of my head where I've been having a dull headache for the last 2 days. So I can tell I probably had some stagnation in there, kind of forcing that energy out. And now again, I'm going to take my hook of my pointer fingers, just pinching my eyebrows over my thumb, giving it a little pinch and a pull over my thumb. And I'm really taking my time here along the ridge of the eyebrow, feeling if there's areas or pockets of more tension. You can give a little shake, a little vibrate. And just applying a nice gentle pressure. Let's do 1 more along that same ridge there. Awesome. So great. So let's go ahead and take our peace fingers again, and we're going to place them on either side of the ear, so the pointer fingers behind and the middle fingers in front. And let's just do 5 nice pumping motions, just upwards. And we're going to give our ears a little love here, so I'm just pressing my thumb behind my ear to kind of press it forward, and I'm using the rest of my fingers to activate and roll, bring some blood flow, some warmth, and stimulating the nerve endings in my ears. And we're just going to work our way from the top of the ears down to the bottom. Nice little pinches, really rolling the ear. And I'm going to do 1 more just like that. It's nice here too when you get to the end of your roll to kind of pull up and away, out and away. If I'm like super tired in the morning and I'm having a hard time getting my focus, I do this ear thing, and it's really like taking a little espresso shot. It might not last quite as long, but I feel like once I get that little yip in my giddy up or whatever it is, I'm good for the day. So definitely in the morning, if you're trying to like cut back on your caffeine, give yourself some like ear stimulation, some ear love, clear that terminus like we got into, and see if that doesn't really get you zooming. We're gonna go ahead, let's come onto our backs. We're gonna lay flat out. arms up and overhead. You kind of find a nice gentle flopping position here. If your back's super arching, see if you can tuck. You can even like press your bottom underneath you to where you can let your back come to a nice comfortable angle. You can still have a little space behind the small of your back, but essentially you don't want your back to be super arched. So if that means you need a little pillow for your shoulders or a cushion for maybe under your hips, so that'll help you to even out, go ahead and grab one of those. But if you feel comfortable laying here, we're going to do a few stretch and releases. So with my arms up overhead, I'm going to take an inhale, and on my inhale, I'm reaching my toes as far away from me as they can get, my fingertips as if you're a bridge or trying to hold two parts of a bridge together, and you're just reaching to pull them. And on your exhale, flop to the ground. Whew. Take a rest here, feeling into your body. We're going to do two more just like that. On your inhale, go ahead and reach, 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 reach. Feeling the contraction in your lungs, the contraction in your arms, your fingertips behind your knees, your thighs, your glutes, your abdominals. And exhale. See if you can relax every muscle that was just tensed up for you. And one more just like that. Let's go ahead and take an inhale. Really squeezing your abdominals. I'm pulling my shoulder blades down but pushing my fingertips away from me. Activating my adductors, my glutes, my thighs, my toes. And exhale. Checking in with your body. By doing those little strenuous bouts, we're finding those areas where the muscles have been holding on to tension and we're not aware that they're contracting. And then we push them to a point of almost fatigue, and by relaxing here, you can really feel checking in with your toes, the arches of your feet, your ankles. Are you holding on to any more tension there? Your calves, your knees, and your thighs, letting them melt into the floor. Letting your glutes and your belly, your low back, and your shoulders find a nice, comfortable, relaxed spot. More room for your lungs to breathe, feeling into your arms, your neck, your shoulders, fingertips, wrists, and elbows. And finally, just bringing your attention to your face. Are your eyes squinting? Are your eyebrows bunched up? Can you relax and melt your eyebrows? Bring soft gaze to your eyes as if you were looking at a sunset, just letting it wash over you. Can you relax your cheeks, your jaw, the curls of your lips for a smile, just gently relaxing into your body. And from here, let's go ahead. We're going to roll onto our right side. You can bring your arm down to give you a little support. And I'm just pressing and placing my arms right out in front of my body. Placing one hand over the other. If you want a little pillow for under your head, you can do that. Otherwise, your arm's going to be just fine there. And I'm bringing my knees to stack on top of each other. Feet are stacking. I'm at a little 90-degree angle there. And then I'm going to take a nice inhale. And on my exhale, let's go ahead and swing the arm open. I've got my little plant, so I'm going to move my arm down. And I'm looking over my left-hand side. And if you want, you can take the right hand and just place it over your legs. So it gives you a little bit of something to twist against. And again, we're really just coming back with our chest. The arm isn't leading the stretch. So if you aren't in a place where your arm can touch the ground comfortably, just go ahead and bring the hand to rest back in. And so it's not pulling all the way. But ultimately, we're stretching across the middle of the body, a little lumbar twist, thoracic twist. on your next inhale, let's go ahead and pull our arms back out in front of us. And you can either roll over to your left side. I'm going to switch so you can still see me. And I'll actually be able to do the stretch really well on this side because I can open my arms. So we're going to roll onto our left side. Our arms are right out in front of our chest at shoulder height, basically. Shoulder height. And my knees are coming up towards my chest, pretty much at a 90-degree angle out from my hips. My feet and ankles are stacked over each other. Taking a nice inhale. And on the exhale, let's just go ahead and open up. Letting your chest lead the stretch here. Looking over your right arm, right shoulder, right hand. Continue to take nice deep breaths here. If you feel your legs wanting to lift up, you can just take the left hand and place it over the top right thigh, just to secure yourself there. If your arm is really pulling on your chest, you can just pull the right hand into the shoulder and continue to open up there, letting the weight just fall into the elbow. Each breath, each exhale, letting your chest fall more open, the arm falling closer to the floor. And on your next inhale, pulling the arm up and over, back to stack on the front. And let's bring ourselves rolling back onto our spine, onto our backs here. And with our knees bent, toes facing forward, I'm just going to gently lift my hips, and I'm going to place my hands one on top of the other underneath my sacrum. So basically right above where your top of your glutes are and a little bit below, just this line of the small of the back. We're just going to stack our hands one over the other on that small of your back, essentially, is a good way to put it. And bring your hips down as far as is comfortable. So right now I have my sacrum fully resting on my hands. And if that's uncomfortable, see if you can play around with how your fingertips or your hands are stacked so that this can be a nice comfortable position for you. If you need, you can put a little towel between your hands and your hips. Take a nice deep breath in here. And we're just going to begin to windshield wiper the legs to the floor. So I'm letting my knees fall side to side. And in doing this, I'm essentially creating a little massage action on my low back, releasing those little areas that get super tight. I'm feeling a little bit of a stretch on the front side of the body. And just letting that area of my sacrum, my low back, get a nice little massage from the pressure of the top of my hands pressing. And you can go as slow, you can hang out really far on one side. Perfect. Go ahead and finish up your windshield wipers there. I'm going to release my hands from under my hips, and let's go ahead and bring ourselves up into a nice seated position. And from here, I am going to, let's go ahead and kick our feet out right in front of us. And I'm going to bring my right foot to cross over my left knee. So I got a little crossing over sensation here. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring our arms up. Inhale. And on our exhale, I'm going to twist. My left arm is coming across my right leg. And I'm supporting myself with my right arm behind my low back. And looking over my right shoulder, just getting another nice seated twist here. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, relax. On this inhale, let's draw our arms up and center. Exhale, bringing them down to rest by our hips. And let's switch our legs that we have crossed over. So now I'm crossing my left foot over my right knee. Again, drawing my breath up, arms up. On this exhale, I'm going to bring my right hand, right arm to meet my left knee, kind of anchoring the arm in here. If you can touch the floor, that's great. Otherwise, just keep pressing actively the back of the arm into the knee. And I'm using my left arm to support me on my low back, and I'm just looking over my left shoulder, feeling the twist here, wringing out the lungs, the kidneys, appendix even a little bit here. And one more nice deep breath in. Exhale, really twisting the spine, looking over my shoulder. And on this inhale, let's draw the arms up and center. Exhale, letting the arms fall by our side. And let's go ahead and get into a nice cat-cow position. So we're on our tabletops here. And we're going to do my favorite cat-cows. We're going to do 3 rounds. The first round, we're going to really be focusing our stretch across the shoulders, up in the cervical spine. For the second one, we're going to be imagining that we're pulling our rib cage apart. So we're stretching across this mid-back thoracic spine. And on the final round, we're going to imagine that we have a tight belt on. We're going to be stretching the sacrum area. And as if in that stretch, we want to pop the belt. So we're going to do 3 rounds, and we're going to work our way just down the spine. To begin, we're going to let our bellies fall towards the floor, creating a nice little arch there. My hands are pushing the floor away from my body, and I'm just gently looking up towards the ceiling. Taking a nice deep breath in, filling my lungs, feeling my throat activate. And on the exhale, let's push the air out of our bodies as we begin to round the back, really imagining my shoulder blades pulling apart from each other. And inhale, back to our nice cow position, drawing the air into the body. And now exhale, pushing out through the thoracic mid-back, the rib cage pulling apart from itself, creating all that extra space in the back that eventually our lungs are going to fill up. Inhale, back to our nice relaxed cow position, really feeling my hips opening, pulling a nice deep breath in, shooting the air all the way back to my toes. Looking up and exhale. For this one, we're really focusing on stretching that sacrum, like our hips are pulling apart, left apart from right, as if you have a nice tight belt on. Pop. And from there, let's go one more nice cow. Let the abdominals rest and pull towards the floor. One more nice deep inhale. And on our exhale, let's just come to a nice neutral tabletop. Walking each hand forward about a foot, foot and a half. Drawing the breath in. And on the exhale, letting the weight of our hips pull the body back into a nice active child's pose. My palms are pressing into the floor. My belly's pressing into the top of my thighs. And I'm going to let my head fall to the floor. our inhale, pulling up to tabletop. Go ahead and find your way to a nice seated position. And when you're ready, you can go ahead. Let's grab our frozen spoons out of the freezer. All right, party time. We got frozen spoons. Give ourselves a little, we don't want it to stick to us. And we still have a little serum on our skin, so this should be very delightful and delicious. We're gonna take the rounded side of our spoons and just press it right below the eyes. Oh yeah. And let's sweep out and away. Just towards the outer edge of the eyes, and let's do 2 more sweeping just like that. Feels amazing. I'm in heaven. Beautiful. I'm going to do spoons, chasing spoons here. Just a quick little pizzazz for that third eye. Beautiful. And we're going to bring it back down to that nasolabial fold. And I'm just scooping out. So I'm using the rounded edge, but I'm starting pretty much at the top, like right below my eyes of the nose. And I'm just scooping with the rounded edge out and away. And I'm just working that whole line. I have nice puff little cheeks. And I'm going to work it all the way down to that little jowls area. Which I'm lucky I don't have, but you know, everyone's beautiful exactly how they are, and we're just gonna like have some fun with this. And now I'm gonna flip the spoons upside down, and I'm gonna marry them right underneath my chin, and pulling out and towards our ears. Oh yeah, good little scoop, the underside scoop. One more just like that. And now we're going to do a quick little swoop from the chin up to the forehead, and we're going to be starting in the midline of the face and just going outwards and upwards with each stroke. So you can do big broad strokes. I'm just going to do these little pressurized strokes up and back. Getting right underneath my lip here. Feels great. Riding underneath the cheekbone. There we go, I'm riding the cheekbone actually here. For this next one, I'm riding right on top of the cheekbone. Little zygomatic arch vibes. I'm gonna give myself some little temple scoopies. Let's go, midline of our eyebrows, out and towards the temples. Beautiful. Keep working our way up our faces. Take your time. If there's a swoop that you did that felt like so good, do 3 or 4 more on that same line. Those are just places where we got some stagnant energy or stagnant flow, and that's the last thing we need. Perfect. So we'll finish with a little swoop. So we're going to take that rounded edge of our spoon, and we're just going to press down and out, down and out. And let's just do the line of the throat. Not working directly over the larynx and the pharynx, but just along these muscular kind of denser edges. Oh yeah, feels good. Ah, Dusty's here! Okay, so that concludes it for us today. I hope you enjoyed this relaxation time. It's a beautiful time to take in the rest of your evening. You've got a beautiful weekend ahead of you, and I really appreciate you checking in.